Hey guys, Lancy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for joining me where we'll look into some more daily market movers and see what is been happening around the magic sets. So we'll start off with the Flying Carpet, Arabian Nights, 4 mana for a artifact. Pay 2, give one creature flying ability until end of turn. If that creature is destroyed before end of turn, so is the Flying Carpet. Now this is not on the reserve list, but I think any cards from Arabian Nights has actually still been climbing in the last couple of weeks. Well, pretty much. Actually, the last couple of weeks for Flying Carpet, but last couple of months for most of the older set cards, especially reserve list. Right now, it's sitting at $36.79. The card itself is not that impressive. The fact that it does get destroyed, if the creature gets destroyed as well, is painful. It's pretty much an enchantment. You can get some pretty cheap versions of this card from 7th edition, 8th edition. Looks pretty cool. Classic, even 5th edition, the artwork looks the same, so you're not really losing too much. But by going back to maybe even revised edition, revised edition is still up there. It's not a reserve list card, so something to look out for. Next is Hollowed Fountain, but specifically the Secret Lair series. So I think that was another one on the Secret Lair series that sold. This is right now sitting at $6.85 on TCG. It really probably should be worth more. You can see in Dissension that it is still worth $23.84. So all of these promos are sitting at a very low level, except for the Zendikar Expedition, which has grown a lot in the last couple of months. Durga Hedge Mage, he has been on, or she has been on the list for a while now. It has been climbing since January 11, and now it is gone up from a 70 cents card to a $1.94 for the peak. You can get it for 76 cents on TCG, but that depends on if you're going to get a decent copy or not. I'll have a look at it on the background. Pithing Needle from 10th edition. So 1 mana card, artifact, really powerful or really useful in modern. You can pick any named card, and then they can't be played unless their activate abilities or sources with the chosen name can't be played unless they're mana abilities. Really, really good at shutting down certain kinds of decks. The cheapest one is from Return to Ravnica at $5.55. So Kamigawa, Saviors of Kamigawa had one. Secret Lair, Masterpiece, obviously from Kaladesh, and Magic 2010. So I feel like this is probably a move because of Modern picking up. We'll see how much it does move up. There used to be a point where this card was worth almost $7 on the marketplace, $8, and right now it's sitting at $4, so we'll see. As for Durga, he is sitting at $4.83. So forget what I said about 76 cents. That is a fake number from TCG. Thanks. Polymorph from Mirage. 3 colorless, 1 blue for a sorcery. Bury target creature. That creature's controller reveals cards from the top of his or her library until the creature card is revealed, and then puts that card into play under his or her control. As though it was just played, then the player shuffles the other revealed cards into his or her library. Yeah, it's a pretty powerful card. You might get something worse, you might get something better. You can also use it on your own creatures, which is important to know. I think that is the case, yeah. So right now it's 75 cents on TCG. Again, I'm not too sure how much I can trust that. It's from Mirage. It is not on the reserve list. It has had multiple printings, with the latest one being Magic 2010. 6th edition and 9th edition, all of the same art. Lightly played, you can get for $2.67. Jovial Evil from Legends. 2 colorless, 1 black for a sorcery. Evil does 2 damage to each. Evil does 2 damage to opponent for each white creature he or she controls. Pretty decent against a mono white deck, because they have a lot of tokens and they usually come out as white tokens. You can get it from TCG for $83. This is an expensive card. It is on the reserve list. So there's good reasons for it to be expensive, I guess. Liliana, Untouched by Death. She was on the list, I think, yesterday, and she is still climbing from core set 2019. Pretty decent card, especially for a zombie tribal deck. There is a media promo release for $148 and a pre-release for $11.46. The market price for this one is sitting at $3.29, but it'll probably be climbing up in the next couple of days. Stony Silence from Modern Masters 2017. One colorless, one white for an enchantment. Activated abilities of artifact cannot be activated, especially with all of the modular that's come out in the last Modern Horizons 2. There is very good reasons for artifact hate to start picking up, and this is probably one of the big ones that's going to stick around for a while. Starting off at $1.71 in January of 2021. Now it's sitting at almost $4. $2 on TCG, but like I said, it could be too old. And if Innistrad is coming back, that might be a new reprinting, but they don't normally do that very easily. Heart of Ramos from Marcadian Mascues. Mascues? There's probably a better way to say that word. Three colorless for an artifact. Tap, add 1 red mana to your mana pool. Sacrifice the heart, add 1 red mana to your mana pool. I think this card is actually really cool because in one turn, you can get 2 red mana. So you pay this for 3, the next turn you tap and then sacrifice. Tap for a red and then sacrifice, you can get 2 red mana. And while you don't really ramp, you kind of do, but you don't like continue to stay ramped. It's just like a one-time off ramp, but it's pretty cool. Salkina, the Swamp King from Legends. He is still climbing. I thought they would have flattened him out by now, but he is still climbing. Obviously, you can get some very cheap versions of him for 40 cents, 50 cents. He's not on the reserve list. Rest in peace from Masters 25, getting a very confusing couple of spikes in the last couple of days. It looks like the average market value is also going up. Right now, you can get it from TCG for $4.25, but the average market is sitting at $6.70. $6.70, I mean. Sherazad from Arabian Nights is on the reserve list, is still moving up. It is also, if I remember correctly, banned in every format. So this is literally a collector item, probably mostly because from Arabian Nights, it is a decent... It's not even a decent card, it's just an annoying card. But at the same time, the artwork is unique. And maybe there are good reasons for people to be collecting them. Shattering Spree is still climbing, going up by another 30%, I think. Let me just have a quick look. Anyways, while that's happening, you can get it from TCG Player for $20. This card is insane. The fact that it's still climbing is the crazy part. I would have 100% thought that it would have flatlined by now, but it is still on a slow trajectory up. And we'll have to see when that stops. So yeah, it moved up by 35% today. And last card from the market movers today, Jazam Jin from Arabian Nights, 2 black. It is right now sitting at $2,650 with a high of $5,000 on March 26th. It is on the reserve list. Does that mean that it's been coming down? Not really, because I can't really say that it's been coming down because the average is still $4,000. The market, if anything, is actually slowly catching up to the average, which is pretty insane. We'll have to see what happens with this card because I think this is one of those ways to judge how healthy the market is. We'll have a quick look at Standard from MTG Goldfish. Brazen Borough moving up by 1%, but that's nothing crazy. Kenrith is moving up as well. So it is strange to see that a lot of the Forgotten Realms is starting to just drop like a rock. And you're starting to see some of the forgotten cards from the previous sets moving back up. They're not moving up by much. The Kenrith is moving up by 6%. Shark Typhoon is moving up by 4%. Goldspan Dragon is moving up by 3%, but they are still quite a move. And you can see that on the other side, it is all drops from Forgotten Realms. We'll have a look at the weekly changes, but nothing too crazy. Treasure Vault is moving up by 20%. Goldspan 4%. Faceless Haven 28%. And everything else is quite low on the biggest drops, all from Forgotten Realms. The movers and shakers, Urza moving up to, oh my god, 7%, $75. This guy was sitting at $40 just a couple of months ago, and that was considered quite high. Makindo, Truthseeker, dropped down by 6% today, sitting at $28. The next highest is CloudKey, dropping down by 7%, and Shattering Spree, dropping down by 15%. So it's very hard to make up anyone's mind apparently on this. The other biggest movers are Tarmogoyf moving up by 3%, and Leyline of Sanctity moving up by 22%. That's actually a big jump. That is actually a big jump. And Arcbound Reclaimer moving up by 39%. Crazy modular support. Liliana's Untouched by Death moving up by 29% today. No other big movers. The biggest drops, if any, is Notion Thief by 5% after the very crazy couple of days where he just jumped up by a large amount. I think that's pretty sensible. The dual lands are still moving up quite rapidly. They are flatlining at more times, but they're starting to catch up with their average price now. For all of them, they've either surpassed it or averaged out. It's pretty crazy. We'll have to see what happens because I feel like it all is dependent on what people consider is the safest bet. Right now, people don't consider the dollar a safe bet, but we'll see what happens because if I quickly go over to the dollar is still gaining a lot of strength. Now, this entire area has been overbought. We'll have to see if the price action says, yeah, the dollar's overbought, so we'll give it some time. But I will say when this 50-day moving average goes above the 200-day moving average, that's a pretty good incentive in the past for the dollar to gain strength for a while. It doesn't normally just drop after something like that, but let's see if there's a fake out. Let's see if the dollar can stick the landing, because right now a lot of people are depending on the dollar to fall. Gold and other things, people are just buying things left and right, saying that the dollar is going to fail. Most of the time people are not right, because if they are, then obviously it'll be too easy to predict the market. That's not how the market works. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching. Have a good day and see you next time.